Man and woman call each other Mommy and Daddy. You never hear their real names, but when Alice attacks Mommy, you hear her yell for the man, and she calls him Eldon. The sign on the front reads Robeson Funeral Home, so his name must have been Eldon Robeson.
Putting
Probably.
two and two together.
Kind of, yes. Craven stated that the film is much closer to The Hills Have Eyes than anything he's ever done in a long time. It's a raw film with no dreams in it whatsoever. It's an extraordinary, real situation involving an awful family that shouldn't exist, but unfortunately often does.
Well, not to this extent.
Well, actually, yes, this kind of shit has happened.
Well, I guess the story, the basis of this film.
Yeah, like this stuff.
So it happens. I just hope not en masse.
I would hope not. I mean, I don't know if there's too many characters who have like, there's the child abduction and the imprisonment and the cannibalism and like I don't think all of this happens at once. I would fucking hope not, but
because if that happens, get the kids out and firebomb that house.
Yes, these are humans that should not exist.
No.
It has been said that the film depicts Mommy and Daddy as a wealth-hoarding preservation of the typical upstanding suburban couple, kind of making this a satire of the Reagan-Bush era conservatism. This was confirmed in the commentary by Wes Craven. Unfortunately, I don't own the Blu-ray, so I didn't get it, so I don't have the commentary. I tried to find as much of a transcription as I could. This is the best I could manage. So, in the commentary, Wes refers to the Robsons' house as representing the whole society of the United States, from the dangerously deprived to the cruelly authoritarian. And while the movie's Mommy and Daddy come across as buffoons, Craven never wants to let the audience forget that they are doing actual harm. And I think he's actually surprisingly successful in that.
Mm-hmm.
They do come off as morons, but then you're just like, oh, wait, they're fucked up. The interiors of the house were also used for filming Rob Zombie's Halloween.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Universal Studios Florida has incorporated the house of Mommy and Daddy, along with other elements of the film's plot, into a maze attraction for the past for their annual Halloween Horror Nights event. It also features on the drive-in movie screen in the Twister Ride It Out attraction.
Do you think it's got the stairs?
I would hope so.
That
I would assume that that's a major part of it. Yeah, I would assume that that's definitely a thing.
Do you think they have the stairs? And also the people that are under them?
They were not really under the stairs, were they?
Well, at the end of the film.
Yeah, eventually,
Came up like the Kool-Aid Man.
They weren't originally, but it was kind of a weird, because it's like, that's in the title, but I'm like, I don't think they were kept under the stairs.
They're the people under the house.
Yeah, I mean...
But the people under the house is, I guess,
not
less
a
of
cool
a
story
catchier title than the people under the stairs.
This is also, the same people who made Last House on the Left, and when you've seen that movie, it has nothing to do with that title, but it's catchy. There was talk of doing a possible remake of the film at one point by Wes Craven. Shortly before his passing, Wes was developing a television show version of the film for the Sci-Fi channel. I would love to see... Sorry, I know it's called Sci-Fi, but it's
No, you're right.
SYFY.
You're right.
It's Sci-Fi, fuck you.
You're right.
I would love to see a television show of this. Just like, I don't know how you would ongoing it, but...
Jordan Peele or someone.
You would think, but I don't think... I don't think... Well, no, there's enough social commentary, so no, I would give it to Jordan Peele. When... Yeah. I mean, but he's, like, balls deep in Twilight Zone right now, so I don't think he has that kind of time.
You could, do, like, a crossover thing and make the remake technically a Twilight episode.
You could, but it's not enough time, because I think those episodes are only 30 minutes, aren't they? I think they're going...
you can't tell this story in
no, you can't, and, like...
Not properly.
And ironically, what I found out with the Twilight Zone proper in the 50s and 60s, the original one, the greatest show ever made, when they switched to like the hour-long episodes, it didn't quite work as well.
Yeah, because it
goes on a little too long. I think the 26-minute is kind of a great mark for this, because you can sort of get the story, get in, do the twist, and we're out.
When did they go to an hour?
The fourth season, I think.
Yeah.
So second last season they went to an hour, and it just didn't quite hold its water, and then they went back to the half hour.
So we begin The People Under the Stairs with a birthday tarot card reading.
Yes.
By Ruby.
Kelly Jo Minter.
You can tell because she has a distinct voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, sis, thanks for the birthday gift.
Yeah.
Where you totally insult me the entire time because she pulls the Fool card because the main character's nickname is Fool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's my birthday and you're fucking calling me a fool.
Well, this is a very personal story, but let's just say I dated someone who used to refer to me as fool, and it wasn't in the you're an idiot kind of way. It's more so, and this does speak to me, is somebody who can't help but get in their own way. And that is me to a fault.
Like you a fool.
Yeah. So she always described me as that.
Fair enough. So after the birthday reading, we find out that they live in a poor place, rundown neighborhood, the ghetto, basically.
Basically, they live in the projects like in Candyman, which we covered many moons ago.
And his mom's super sick, so he's going to be... She basically says, hey, when I go, you're going to be the man of the house. You have to take care of Ruby, and I think there's other children as well.
There's what's it called? Yvonne, I don't remember her name. Ruby. She has a kid.
Oh, okay.
That was what they were implying. The baby crying was her kid.
Right, so it's just, you gotta take care of Ruby, you gotta take care of Ruby.
My argument would be like, well, I don't see another guy around, so he is already the man of the house.
Well, the only other man around is, I guess, someone who also lives in the neighborhood. Leroy. Played fantastically.
Yep.
Although not for very long, by Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames, in one of his earliest film roles, the first time I definitely saw him, he's amazing.
But
I mean, in all fairness, name a performance where Ving Rhames isn't probably the star of the show. In all honesty, dope. He really is. Ving Rhames is the fucking man. Always has been.
So he's basically saying, hey, you want to make money for your family? Well, I have this job that we can go on, because he's known for doing beanies, and there's the house, the Robson house.
Yeah, it's known to have this coin collection.
It's got, because they're the owners of all the properties around town.
Yeah, like they're being evicted, and the Robsons are the ones who are evicting them. So it's kind of like of course it's wrong to break in and steal and all that, but it's kind of righteous because they're kicking them out for no reason.
They use the Robin Hood.
It's the idea of they want to kick them out. It's the age-old story of they want to kick them out so they can tear it down and gentrify the place.
Yeah. We do meet the Robsons proper, Mommy, Daddy, and Alice.
Yes.
And they are like the worst people ever.
They're really strict with her. We don't quite see what's going on yet.
Not to the extent that we know. But we just know that they're going to be the antagonist of the film.
They're very strict. She's not allowed to speak, and then when she, does speak, she's like, I wasn't talking to you, whatever. I do enjoy the fact that Daddy is sitting there eating nondescript meat and pulling buckshots out of his mouth.
Buckshot.
Yeah. Now we know what the meat he was eating was. Certainly not venison.
Yep. So Ruby and Leroy, basically Ruby's just like, you need to watch out for Leroy. Like, don't
bring him into this. He wants to be a doctor.
Yeah.
And Leroy's like, fuck, how are you gonna say, like, I thought he was gonna make, it was weird because I liked how he did it because I thought he was gonna make fun of him and be like, oh, the kid's too stupid. He was just like, no, how are you gonna pay for him to go to medical school? And I'm like, fucking Leroy's got a point. God damn it.
It's like, with what money?
Yeah. Like, how are you going to send his ass there?
Like, basically explaining, no, this is literally the only way.
Yeah.
This is going to work. So, it's this or it's on the street.
Yeah, and also, these, like, if we find this coin collection, we can pay for medical school. Like, it's enough money that you're covered. Everything's covered. And also, it's like, the mom has a certain type of cancer where they could just cut it out and she's fine, but they can't afford to do that. And I'm like, what kind of fucking cancer is that?
Movie.
Yeah, MacGuffin. Because no.
MacGuffin cancer. Enough money, go away!
Yeah.
So Mommy and Alice, this is more of like, don't speak, I made you a nice dress, but like, it's weird, because Mommy is like, I guess it's a good cop, bad cop kind of thing, until Mommy goes also bad cop.
Yeah, she is the nicer of the two.
Until you get her angry.
And then it's like, it's fucking no wire hangers.
Yeah, we get to Mommy Dearest.
Mommy Dearest levels. But it's just, it is weird because he's got like this gruff demeanor, but he also seems to have a I don't give a fuck attitude as well. So I never quite understand this first scene.
Well, he's gonna beat her, but Mommy says, just not the face.
Yeah, like, don't...
Like, ooh.
Like,
you're gonna break out the phone book? Wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, this is awkward and weird. Not good.
So the plan is to send in Fool as reconnaissance, as a bear trooper?
Bear trooper, Boy Scout, whatever. Selling cookies. Which I don't think Boy Scouts do.
Goes to the house, and it's like locks on the outside windows, which are like,
that's weird.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the house, and it's just like, compared to everything else, like, oh.
It's on lockdown,
nothing good lives here.
Yeah. But it's clearly locked down for, like, you don't want something to get out, not in. So it's kind of fucked up.
So Mommy's just like, well, what do you want? Well, I'm selling cookies. We don't want any cookies. Well, can I come in to pee? No.
No, you can't do that either. And it's like, oh, and then she fucks off, and he hangs out by the foreshadowing of a weird pond that they have, and that's when he looks up and kind of sees Alice, but not so much.
Well, she's there, and then she's gone.
Yeah, and then he goes back to the van, and Leroy and his buddy are just like,
Buddy Spencer.
Well, yeah, are just like, well, and he's like, I couldn't, she wouldn't let me in. Man, you're not good at this. Like, no, she won't let me in.
Like, what am I going to do? Bull past her? Like, it's not going to happen.
To his credit, Leroy does stick up for him. He's just like, the kid said she wouldn't let him in. What do you want him to do?
So Spencer's like, I got
this.
it.
Yeah.
I got the perfect disguise. And he's the meter man. Gas meter man.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that he leaves his ring on.
Yeah.
Again, that's more foreshadowing for later.
Yeah.
But it's just like, if you're going to be the meter man, you know what meter mans that are hired by meter companies don't wear? Skull rings.
Although, I'm reminded of the fantastic Mark Wahlberg movie, Rockstar, where he works as a photocopy repairman, but he's got like the eyeliner from the night before because he's in a rock band. It's the same shit. Like he's a meter man by day, but like, you know, by night he's like a heavy metal guitarist. You know.
He just leaves the ring on?
Yeah.
So she doesn't buy it, but she lets him in.
Yeah. Which I'm like, oh well, he's dead.
And she's like, well, yeah, that's in.
Yeah, you're dead.
So Leroy and Fool just break in. Yeah. Middle of the day.
Well, she leaves, and Leroy just goes, she left him in there? It's like, that seems wrong.
And also he's upset because I'm like, oh, he's in there by himself. He's going to take all the coins for himself.
Yeah. So they decide
like no honor among thieves type stuff.
Pretty much.
So midday, first off, pulls the van up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so you better get in and out because if you don't, she's gonna come home and there's gonna be a weird van in her driveway.
Like that's my point of like, you're known for doing this. Clearly, you're not good at it. That's what I'm getting at this.
You're
Leroy.
boxing yourself in.
Yeah, you're not very good, Leroy.
So knock knock. Obviously nobody there. Smash the window, reach around the thing, unlock the door. Again, mid daylight.
Yeah.
Just broad daylight. I mean,
it doesn't. Although at the same time, it really doesn't seem like the neighborhood that the cops are driving by very often.
No.
So it's kind of like, yeah, they could probably get away with it.
Then a dog attack.
Like you do.
Who we learn later is named Prince, and kind of the star of the first act of this film.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Just vicious attacks Leroy, but kind of when they run into another room and Leroy dives behind the couch and hides.
He basically says to him like, you know, you lure him out, and when he comes in, I'll beat the fuck out of him. And then the dog comes in and stops.
And looks at Fool and kind of just...
Yeah, it's like, oh.
But the minute he sees Leroy, jumps over the couch and starts biting him.
And I'm like, my point is, like, dude, you are not going to be able to save Fool from this fucking dog. Because clearly, you're an idiot. Because he jumps, and you have something in your hand to hit him with, and you don't. I don't know, man.
So they get away from the dog, they block off a door, and they're like, well, shit, he's still out there.
Yeah, we're not getting out,
so
but we'll worry about that later. Let's
go look for the coins.
Yeah.
So they split up, which is...
always a good idea.
I mean, I don't think it was one of the rules that Randy said in Scream in a horror movie, but don't split up.
I mean, in a world where he says, like, you know, I'll be right back, it's the same shit. Like, just stick together, you know.
Strength in numbers. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, strength in numbers.
Splitting up never helped anyone.
So Fool finds Spencer, and he's super dead.
Yep, he's dead to the nth power.
And he also meets...
His hair is white.
Yeah, he also meets the people under the stairs. As they're literally trying to pull him in for consumption, and he's pulling them out, and I'm like, no way, is this like 13-year-old boy...
No,
strong enough to pull this grown-ass man away from...
What
was it, 6 of them?
Yes, but... He may not have been able to pull the grown-ass man, but they might have been weak. Because malnourished. Because that's why they look the way they do, aside from the fact that there's no sunlight. They're also malnourished, because all they're eating is human meat, which cannot sustain humans. Yes, I know that. Don't ask why. No, I've never tried to eat humans.
So he notices that his hand's been chewed up, so I'm like, oh, they eat people.
Yeah, they're cannibals.
So let's get out of here.
They're chud, if you will. Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. Another movie we will get to someday.
And then he's attacked
Mm-hmm.
by who we come to know as Roach.
Yes.
But not really attacked.
No,